Hey guys, welcome back to releasethecraftin. Priscilla here with, can you believe it? It's an actual journal. We finished this together. I know you guys didn't actually do the work here, but you supported me spiritually and emotionally, so we got this done. I am so excited. This has been a long time coming because I got this commission last year, and a bunch of stuff happened between then and now that I honestly, for a moment, thought we weren't going to get to this point ever, and I was going to collapse from exhaustion or something before I ever finished this. Luckily, that didn't happen. We finished it, and I am super excited to share this with you guys. Like, I have so many words, so many thoughts and feelings. This was a long time coming. This is an absolute labor of love, and I am just, let's get into it. So, you guys, look at it. I love it. This is the Collector's Apprentice. It is a commission by the same person who got The Collector. She asked for a sequel, part 2, but with a spin on it, and here we are. Today. This book is massive, so you can see we're seeing a little bit more of my craft space than normal. That's about as much as I can back out without unleashing the fury of the mess that I've made of my craft space, so, you know, it is what it is. I don't have a big enough setup anymore to film books of this size, because this is an 8.5 by 11 book, and as you can see, it doesn't all fit in frame, but it's also got a 4.5 inch spine. So yeah, it's a little bit closer than we're normally at when it comes to books like these. You can see I added in the book bands, and Smokey added in a scrap or two of cat hair, which I will roll off later. And then these little like upholstery brads, I don't know what these are called, but they're meant for upholsteries. But I think they add like a really nice feel because, like I said, this is the Collector's Apprentice, and this girl, let me just stop right here. Rewind a second. When I got this commission, she gave me like these parameters that were like gothic but feminine but not girly, and naturey but kind of grungy, and like I had an idea when I got the commission, and then I got like I got a big chunk of this put together, like signatures assembled, that kind of stuff, and then I got COVID, and then I had COVID brain, and when I came back to this, I was like, I don't even know what I was planning to do. So if you ask April, I was ready to scrap everything because I was so far from like the color palette she gave me, because she wanted it to be like greens and browns with some like muted, like dusky pink colors added in there, and I was like, what if it was verdigris and blue, because my brain kept saying you need to use these colors instead. I really just drive home that like patina look, and I was like, why are you doing this? So when I got like recovered a little bit from COVID, I couldn't like see what I had originally intended, so I was going to throw it all away and just start over. But then like something in the back of my brain was like, no, like trust your intuition on this. You had an idea, like you just need to rediscover it, and luckily I was able to get back into it. So I was able to sort of come up with the entire story of the Collector's Apprentice, and what I'm thinking was that this girl is a girl who gets down and dirty. She doesn't just like pick up things that she finds in nature to preserve, or odd bits of, you know, junkyard goodness like the Collector does. She brings her shovel to the graveyard. That's the kind of girl the Collector's Apprentice is, and she does most of her collecting in these lost places, these forgotten places, in bogs and swamps and graveyards. I really ran with that theme. I really wanted to use it here, and so I think I did it. I think I got it. As you can see on the cover is like mossy, and it's got like this, like, maybe it started out as like a proper book of shadows, and this is where she was keeping all of her stuff. You know, she built this grimoire. She used this like animal skin leather. This is a Tim Holtz fabric, I believe. I think it's like crocodile skin is the name of it. So she built this like leather bound journal to record all of her findings and her stuff in, so that she could share them with her master, the Collector. And as she has like been going on these escapades, the book gets grungier and dirtier as she carries it everywhere with her in her little bag, and it starts to pick up bits and pieces of the places it's been. And I wanted to sort of show that here, like it's getting a little bit more wild and overgrown as she is progressing in her journey and learning and developing. She has now officially become a collector of her own. This time she's a collector of the peculiar, and here we have a like resin skull. I don't know if that's a better look at it here that I painted up and inked on. You know, sort of like buried here. This is like, this is actually resin as well as the runestones here. Runestones. I don't know why I thought that wasn't called runestones for a second. no questions. We don't know. Moving on. These are all resin pieces. These are actually little resin blanks I made testing out my mold, and I wasn't happy with them because they were super bubbly. It didn't matter because they looked great here. So I inked them up and added them to this. They were clear. The resin that I used to fill this background was like I added in some alcohol inks to get this like bog water color. And then underneath here is like, this is a photo of like a gravestone, headstone like statue figure that's like been snowed over, and I just put this under here like, I don't know, as like a portal, a pathway through the bog, through the moss and the mire to get to the dead, which is who she communicates with. And I use the theme of runes throughout the book because I feel like that's her tool to communicate with the dead as she's going on her like forays into the unknown. Like I said, this book is massive, so that's our profile view here. On the closure, it says, here in the silence, dark and deep, I offer you eternal sleep. So I think not only does she collect pieces of the dead to keep in her collection, but she also, in her communications with the dead, helps them find peace and helps them, you know, get the rest that they're looking for. So we're going to crack this open, you guys, actually, believe it or not. I'm not just going to keep talking about the cover. So on this closure, I've added some beaded charms, and ephemera, some witchy stuff. There's a broom here, a little broken, like, statuette head. There are some gemstone beads, which I will include for her when I ship this off to her so she knows what gemstones and stuff are in here. And then there is, you can't see it because it's big, there is an athame attached to this, as well as a little tiny cauldron. And then on the actual closer, it's one of these Tim Holtz, I don't know what they're called, little clamps. You have to squeeze to get it to open, which is not my favorite feature, but it works a treat for keeping things closed. And then I added at the end of this little chain an acorn, but also an extension piece, so that as she adds stuff to this, all she has to do is move this little ring right here down this line so that she can have like more room to fill stuff in here. Because like I said, this book is 4.5 inches, but I built it intentionally with the idea of it having space for her to do her own stuff. So you can see there is a lot of space in here for the signatures to grow and expand, so there's a lot of room for that. Look, there's like a lot of threads down here. I don't think I've looked at the bottom of this book before. Oh, and I guess since we're looking at the bottom, we might as well look at the top. And out of the top is just some fibers and some fun. So some good stuff all around. And I don't know how I'm going to show you guys everything because I can't fit everything in the frame. So over here we have the cover. There is some like stamped packaging paper that I left some space here for her to like write her name in, or when she got it, any information she wants to write. Like it's gonna be like a little book plate here she can write some information in. And then the book does lay totally flat, which is great. If I had more space, yeah, there it is. See, it lays flat. I don't have the space. I'm holding up one end to show you guys it, but it does lay totally flat, which is great. How to show you? I think this is the best way. So we start out with sort of a scene that I wanted to sort of indicate the theme of the book. She asked me for some abandoned and reclaimed by nature scenery, so you'll see that throughout the book, as well as the nature themes here. And we were going for sort of a punk rock element, and I was going to use my Rebel Witchery kit in this book, but I decided to let that actual kit go and just hold it off because it was a lot, and I had such a clear picture, and I finally figured out what I wanted to do with this like theme that I hadn't included like that Rebel Witchery kit in here. So I was trying to keep it like punk rock in the coloring and in the approach to how I like decorated the book. So I hope that comes through as we flip through. We have this really great like gravestone image here, and then I'm going to mess up my own pieces. There is a quote from my Dark Garden word set. I'll try to link everything I used digitally from my shop down below. This is also from my shop. It's a set of runes. I did have a bunch of these really great like gold die cuts here. This is actually a piece of junk because I ordered some gloves for winter, and it came, you guys, it came with one glove in each bag, and these are like really thick Ziploc style like plastic bags, and I don't even understand why, because it was just gloves, like gloves for winter. It was crazy. It was the craziest thing. I couldn't even believe it, so I had to reuse them because it was just, I was so like indignant at the idea that the packaging was so extremely wasteful. So it got a new life here. It turned into this really great, like really deep bag. Where is the opening? There it is. I don't think I intended to zip it shut, but I think I did. Do you need to see it open? Yes. So it's a really great, really deep pocket, so she can store a lot of cool stuff in here. This is an abandoned building in the background, and then behind the pocket itself, or the little bag, I guess we should call it, is a little book, a little mini book with a little specimen slide that says Styles of 1900 with this like ghostly girl, twin girls, shining-esque sort of image in there. And there's a little space here she can journal on the back of. and then a little booklet with another little rune on it, and a little woodland scene on top of this abandoned building. And then there are just some scrappy little pieces in here that you can like tear out and use throughout the book or journal on. This would be a really great little book for the Collector's Apprentice to take on the go. This is my hand-carved raven stamp impression here. So flip out. So this is just some scraps that I had left while making the book and the ephemera, and they came together to make this great little book. Some more of that like abandoned building side facade. But this is like a little book our apprentice could take with her if she didn't want to haul her big book with her to keep her notes in. And I want to make sure I leave a little piece of this sticking out so that she knows that there's something in here. Because there's some secret pockets in here, and I think I've already forgotten them. So I may forget as we're flipping through that there's some stuff hidden here. Hopefully not. As you can see, I grunched up the edges really wonderfully. So they have this really great like ink texture and color. I don't have space to show everything. Here's that. And you can see I went with that like this patina paper, and I love this paper so much. And then every signature has either a rune stave or a bind rune made by me, specifically for this book to match the themes in this book. So this one is for prosperity. And I just did some random stamping to like mesh this all together. And then I did these ruffles, and I added in some die cuts and some extra thread. And then there is a little drop down dangly bit. And I will say the unique thing about this book is that we made a lot of the ephemera together. A lot of the ephemera together, and the majority of it we made in the Storycraft series. So if you have anything you see in here that you want to see like how to make, check that playlist and just check like the last couple of videos I've been making for the last 2.5, 3 months, because we made a lot of the stuff in this book together. And if you see something in this book that isn't already in those playlists or in the last couple of videos, then you know, feel free to ask me to show you guys how to make it if you haven't seen it there. But we made a majority of the stuff in this book together. And even on these like cardstock like scrapbook paper pages, you can still see that inking come through on the edges of them, and I just really love like the cool effects I got when I inked all these up. So over here, I don't know how to best show you guys because it's so big. So over here we have a belly band, and this is a pocket belly band. So there's actually a little fold-up tag here with some journaling space of these like taxidermy frogs. And it says, "When witches don't fight, we burn." That's from American Horror Story. And it's also from A Kit from My Shop. So that tucks in here. And you have this like really cool little hidden pocket. And then you can also slide something behind it, like a proper belly band. And, gosh, I wish I had a better setup for these, but it's been a while since I've had to fill something so big. But yeah, you can slide something back here so she can store something there. There's lots of available writing space, because she already told me she's not going to be doing a lot of writing in it, but I do know that she's going to add like prints and artwork and like printable stuff to it, so there's lots of space to do that. Lots of this great ink texture. This is just like texture from the dye process, because these were avocado dyed pages, because I was trying to get that dusky rose color, and I love like this rusty effect on top of the avocado dye. And then this is just coffee staining on top of it, because in addition to getting like inky edges, I dripped like coffee into the signatures and got these really cool like results. So over here we have a leafy envelope, or a leafy paperclip, which we did make together. And then this little envelope here, a little book page envelope. And then this, as you can see, like the drippage, it flips out, and you get kind of a Rorschach on this one because of where the flip out is, which is really neat. And you can see there's like a more pinky color here. I'm really happy with how the dyeing like came out on these papers. Didn't get the page. So yeah, dinner and dessert, guys, because we're going to be here a hot minute. I'm going to try to go quickly, but I do want to give some details in this first signature. And then there is some of this like parchment style paper that also has some really cool effects on it. I'm absolutely in love with how the inking came out on these. So like, I'm going to point to them a lot. And then here we have another like ruffle with some die cuts in there, and it's got its own little leafy bead charm here. And then here we have a watercolor swatch tag that we did together. These are all metallic, so they have this really cool effect, because I think in addition to like grave crawling and mausoleum like diving, our apprentice also takes the time to sit in the cemetery and paint what she sees. So I think she's a bit of an artist, so I wanted to include these swatch tags with that. And then I think there are 3 of these in the book. I added this little clip because the book is so big that it like off balances everything, but you should pull this little tab here. This is a little corner hugger, and there is a little tag inside that says "Living in My Little World." It has a little ribcage stamped on it, and it's got space to store more stuff in here too. This pocket is actually pretty spacious, but that that would explain it. I'm really happy with how this came out. I really love how these sliders look. I love how, like, all of this ephemera just, like, wow, you can't see it because it's not in frame. But, like, I just really love how this came out. I'm really happy with it. I love the colors here. This is one of those rare occasions where I did something gothic, but very, very colorful. Okay, sorry, word cut there. My phone rang, and I tried to dismiss it, but then I answered it. It doesn't matter. I'm a professional. So here we go. The good thing is that it gave me time to remember that this is actually a pocket because I didn't put anything in this pocket, but it's actually a pocket. So, you know, she can tuck something cool in there, something secretive, because it kind of like, it's really flush. I didn't even know that it wasn't stuck down. So, yes, it's an excellent pocket. That's not where you go. There's where you go. And on to the other side. So we have this really great, like, image of this abandoned chair. I think the way that I'm looking at this is that in addition to crawling around all this nature muck and grungy grossness as well as the cemetery, she also finds these abandoned buildings and takes these photos to commemorate the things that have been lost to add to her collection. Inside of this, this is a pocket, is this like funky little journaling card. She can journal on the back, and I don't know if you can see, but these are like people dancing like in super overexposure. So just sort of a little aesthetic strangeness photo here. I don't know if I can get that back in while holding the other side of the book. There we go. So here is a little spot to write on with a little stamped and watercolored edged little snippet there. And then here is some dyed paper that I also got that ink effect onto, and I just love it so much. All these colors played really well together. I wasn't sure at first, like I wasn't sure I was going to like it, but I really do like it. And like I was saying, it's one of the rare occasions I get to make something gothic, but also colorful. And then, as I was inking these are coffee dyed pages, but when I added this, like, ink effect to it, because I used the water to get the ink to spread, it gets this really, like, cool water-stained effect as well. So, just another really cool thing here. A lot of little details, I think, in this one. And then here, for you guys to see here, I took my dyes and I like etched over them like gravestone rubbings. So I just like took a watercolor pencil because I wanted to add that effect, but I took a watercolor pencil over my dyes on underneath this paper and got this sort of grave etched effect, this etching effect. And then I took a water brush and activated just half of the watercolor ink, like the overages and stuff, to sort of blend the watercolor and etching effect together, and I'm really happy with how this came out. I really like this effect. I think I'm going to use it again in the future, just on things in general, not just specifically gravestone things. And then there is a little smoky quartz bead here with a pentacle, and this like stitched and embossed with a foot little tag, which has some really great journaling space on the back. And then here, every signature has a rune on one of the ruffles, and on this one it has, in addition to a die cut and some more fiber. I don't know what to call it. Some kind of ribbon. And this is the end of the first signature. And this page is another clip with another little leafy scrappy tag bit. And then this is an embossed tag. It says, sometime in the middle of the night, the young girl became possessed in the dark and haunted room, she whom thou namedst Death. And this is another like abandoned building type thing. It clips together with this little clip here. And there is a large drilling space here. And the full photo of that abandoned stairwell there. So really cool tag. Really happy with how that came out. And then there is another of those little leaf etchings here. And in the second signature, and you can see, like I said, I left a lot of space in between the signatures so that they could comfortably grow and have room to grow as she adds her stuff into the book. So on the second signature, we have this really cool patina paper, and I really love this like copper effect patina because I think it matches that pink color she was going for, but also fulfills my need to put patina in this book because I was not going to be happy without patina. I don't know why I went like on my own path with this, you guys. I can't explain it, but I did. So there is a little gold moth attached to this pin here. There's a little tab here with a little fern hanging over, and then on this side it says cast a spell, and there's this little like black and white photo. It's like a woodland altar almost on this like tree stump, and then that flips open for some journaling space on this side. And then there is another abandoned building back here, and then it flips over. So just a fun little interactive flip. And then on this ruffle are some of these like fabric, like upholstery fabric scraps that I cut into like leaf shapes, and then just like distressed a little bit so they'd be extra squiggly, and added a little leaf charm with some gemstones too. And then at the top of this page, I tore this page accidentally, and then like just covered it up with a little scrap of paper and added a little leaf sticker here like it was growing out of the page. So you can see the rest of that scrap of paper here on the side. And then here on this little like small flap of paper is another rune stave. This one is a road opener. And on our next little leafy paper clip, We have another journaling tag with a nice little fun sewing element here and a pocket there. Are these two pages together? No, it's just a very thick page. Okay. Oh. Okay, I know why. I know what's happening. I told you guys I forgot. So at any rate, here's the ruffle for this one. I added these feathers and these like cicada wings. And then up here is a larger dangling tag with a little pine cone and some citrine. And then the reason I forgot why this page was so thick is because there's a giant tag up here. So it's got this little like dangly bit, some fun fibers here, and then this abandoned building with this gravestone like statue here. And the original was like holding a rose. I added in this leaf instead, or I think it was holding a tulip. I don't remember. At any point I didn't want to cut the tulip out, but I love this little leaf element instead of that. So I really love how that came out, and it's got a lot of writing space and a lot of cool like distress oxide effects in the back here. But that's why this page is so thick. And I told you guys I forgot like all the secret little pockets I put in here. So that's why I was really confused by this page. So here is a little baggy insert, and then this is a tuck spot, so you can tuck something behind this little headstone here. And then I used some texture paste on here, as well as some gold wax and some crackle paste. So I don't know if you guys can see that. There it is. Some crackle paste to add a lot of like fun texture to this little baggie. You can see that texture carried over. There's some rice paper collaged onto the back, and then this can all serve as writing space. So you can write something here, store something in the pocket, maybe tuck something back there. And then on this page, we get another little etching and some more of that really great color effect. And then here is a quadruple pocket page. So in here we have a little tiny tag, a watercolor swatch. Every signature has a swatch of its own. I'm not going to read them all because I said dinner and dessert. And we might be going on to second breakfast, or 11sies, because there's a lot here. This is actually a 5 pocket page, and I just don't have anything in this one. I'll think about it later. Or not. She can add her own thing in there. There's a lot of stuff in here. And then here is a journaling card that we made together. It's got this really great embossing effect on it. It's a bunch of layered embossing. And then every one of these cards has a little snippet of a poem about, like, death. So there's that if you want to read along. I don't think they're in the... Oh, excuse me. Oh, my God. So unprofessional. I don't think they're in the order that they were in the poem, but I think they still work on their own. And so here is a little tag, another little abandoned building, journaling spot. This one has some really great, like, eyelet trim crazy fibers, which are pretty fun. I really enjoy those. And then here on this ruffle is a bit of torn up or cut up rice paper on top of this, like, really sheer, like, fabric. I don't know what these are called. What's this called? It's super sheer fabric. I just really like the effect of that layered in here. And then I attached another one of those specimen slides. You can't see it. I need to look in the camera when I do this. So I attached one of those specimen slides here. And it just has a photo of, like, this very perfectly teardropped decorated eye. And then here you can see, like, that really rusty effect that I got in the dyeing. I really love this. These were hard to give away because I love this rust effect so much. But I bit the bullet and did it because I specifically dyed the papers for that. So it would have just been silly to not do it. And like I said, this book is so big, I'm now knocking over other stuff. So here we have another little tuck spot. So something small can get tucked behind here. It goes, like, all the way up. So there's something you can tuck behind here. And then there is a large pocket here. And then here is some journaling space where she wanted to, like, add a photo in here, she could. And then there's another one of our little etchings. And then here, the pocket is actually on the top. And I tried to cut these so they look like stacked gravestones. I don't know if I achieved that effect, but there is a pocket in here. And then I believe this is also, yes, this is also a tuck spot back here behind her. And then here is a pocket page with another one of these, like, scrappy collage tags. And some more of that, like, coffee dripping. This page folds out, and in here is a little stamped image of this little dapper cat skeleton. And then here, attached via paperclip, is a larger envelope. It says skull names on it. And relax, it's only magic. And it's like a little belly band closure for this larger book page envelope. So we have this, like, collaged layout here. And then a little crocodile egg. And this is like a pocket style envelope, like a little pouch style. So you can stick some stuff in here, walk it down like that, and then pop it back in to the belly band relatively easily. That went a lot better than I expected. And that just tucks in here with the little paper clip. And I think this is prehenite? Prehenite? I don't know how you say it. Prehenite? Just really love the dye effect here. And then another great page of patina effect with our rune here. And then we have a long dangling charm here. And this has one of those, like, pottery beads that I picked up at the Arty Reuse. It's not like pottery. It's like a little metal glaze sample chip but it's really cool and it really matches. So I'm really happy with this. And the little key here, I think, is maybe something she picked up on her travels. Maybe it unlocks something, maybe it doesn't. I mean, all keys unlock something technically, unless like you're one of those decorative key people, then maybe not so much. Here we have this sort of compound layered pocket. So it's a book page pocket. It got like some really great like inking and dyeing and embossing on it. There is a little collage layout here, and then another little booklet, a little scrappy, happy little booklet here. Not going to flip through every page individually because it's similar to the first booklet. So that lives in here, and then on the side is a large journaling card of this like abandoned like lake mining property. And then on the back here, it's just backed with some like distress oxide inked packaging paper. And then on top here is a large tag. I'm gonna mess up my own camera. Is a large tag. On the back of these things, I don't think I've been pointing it out, but these little word like dangles on the back, they're all backed so that they can be journaled on. And then here is another abandoned stairwell. I did some inking over the top of it, and more journaling space on the back. And then here we have part of a breakdown of the bones of the skull. So I left the little indicators of which bones were what. And then in here is this potentially sleeping, potentially not, little specimen slide of a man. Don't worry, he's sleeping. I wouldn't do that to you guys. And it just tucks back here, you know, a little something on the mind of the skull. And then a little dingly charm here. This one says seen and noted. A little leafy bit on the end here. And then we have a large flip out. So onto this coffee dyed paper, I added a little bit of this colored paper. And then this flips out to reveal our sleeping beauty here with a leaf sticker back there. And then another Rorschach test for you guys. Oh, I love this, like this texture and this inking so much. It is probably like the highlight of this book for me, in addition to the many other things I've already said are my favorite. We got another sliding corner hugger. Oh my gosh, I already forgot what it was called. And then here we have, this is a photo from a cemetery of these like succulents like spilling over this little urn bowl on someone's tomb. I don't know what you call it. And then this is just an envelope that I like super saturated with a bunch of like distress inks. It has a really cool like velvety feeling, but some of that oxidization will still rub off, so maybe don't get too rubby with it. But it's a really nice envelope. I think I really love the colors. It's got lots of space to hold stuff. And then this is a fire quartz bead, and fire quartz is one of my favorite stones, and it was hard to part with, but I did. And so this one slides open. It says a wonderful secret, and then here is a tiny tag. So that just tucks in there. And like I said, the size of this book makes these a little bit unwieldy, but I think it works. So on the back of that, we have the Death Tarot card. So a nice little tarot card tucked in here. There is a little tiny space for her to journal something on. This is also a pocket, so something else can be stored here. This is where I tucked in the card. And then this is a tiny pocket that holds a little die cut key. Tiny key. Tiny pocket. That fills me with glee. And a little ruffle, and then we have this abandoned swimming pool. And I love like the textures and the color. I think they went really well with like the paper. Like look, this crackling surface. I just chef's kiss. Like these came out so good. I really love this. I just love all the colors in this one, and then like the drippy water stain effects remind me of the effects on the paper. So I think we got it. I think I'm in love with this. And then here we have another abandoned building, and this tag with another abandoned building, and then there is a little pocket at the bottom of this one. So you can see like the floor of this building is like covered in sand, and then there is this little like die cut piece of ephemera on like gardening something, and a little tiny like mycology like mushroom chart, and then a little rune. So she can like use these in the book, stick them around wherever she wants, or she can journal on them and keep them tucked in here, little like prayers or wishes. And then on the back is some journaling space and a little dangly charm. And then the binder in for this one is about unlocked potential. And over here we've got some of these moon banners. So tucked in there is another one of these journaling, like embossed journaling cards with the poems on them. And you can just tuck that in there and keep that nice and secure in there. And I love like the leaves coming out of this banner. I like the moon shape. I liked these a lot. They were a lot of fun to make. And then behind this belly band is just like old vintagey type photo of some roots. It's not necessarily belladonna, but I think it gives belladonna energy. And then that is backed so that it can be journaled on. And then in this pocket is a large tag that has also been embossed on, and it has this like entryway into this like creepy mausoleum. It has some of the photos from my Necropolis kit on here. There is some like rub-ons and stuff in the back here, and then some more of this like cemetery imagery. And then inside is a little stamped beetle inside this moon. And I will put that back in later because this is supposed to be a faster video. So here we have another stamped and painted little snippet with these really great like textural pages side by side, and then art rune for this book signature. And then here we have a little like pouch envelope with a little journaling word snippet. It says mausoleum on this like abandoned temple journal card. And I don't think there's anything in this, but it does open up. Yeah, this one's empty. It says in the ground. It has a really great collage on here. I'm really happy with how these came out. You can't see it. Oh my gosh. What a chaotic video. I'm so sorry, guys. It's been a while since I've done a journal flip through. Hopefully you can see it. I really love how this came out. There's some embossing here with like just regular, it's not even regular. It's the embossing glaze from Distress, and then the mixed media powder. This is hammered. And it's these butterfly wings. And I don't know if you can see all the colors in that, but there's like some blacks and some coppers like mixed in there. And I really love how that came out. So on this page, we have another leafy paperclip with another watercolor swatch tag. This one is pink because we used pink right here. Although this is a very vibrant pink compared to this more muted pink. And then here we have another leaf edging with some stamping on it. And there's the other side of that skull, like all the breakdown with all the bones and stuff. And then another ruffle with the feathers and the little cicada wings in here. And then on here is another beaded little dangle. And then this is actually a side pocket. So it has this extra large journaling card. And this isn't an abandoned scene so much as it's just like a generally beautiful nature scene. But I think you find a lot of beautiful nature in cemeteries. So I think it worked really well with this. And then this is just backed with some scrapbook paper. So she could put like a large photo or print down on here. So it's more of a photo mat than a journaling card. But you can still journal on it. It can be done. And then this is the end of the third signature. This is a like abandoned room art piece, I believe. This was like an intentional art piece that got left behind. And so this is what it looks like way after the like installation was done, but like it's got this like padding everywhere, like furniture padding, and this like really great peeling paint texture, which you can't see because of the glare. There you can see it. And then in the center of the book is a bookmark, a little laminated bookmark, made again with another one of those photos of the abandoned building, and I layered in some die cut leaves and some sticker leaves. I just really love how that came out. It looks really nice. There are some charms on it. So another one of those little half-faced statuette pieces and a little copper leaf. And then on the back, it's just a little bit of scrap cardstock. But I thought, like, it'd be really fun to just, like, get, like, a dry erase marker and, like, doodle some notes in here. So as you go through the book, you can be like, oh, yeah, remember to add whatever. Then you can just wipe it off and whatever. But it's a little laminated bookmark for her to use. And then here we have a pocket page with a specimen card decorating the bottom of this, like, girl running through this, like, alleyway. So I think our apprentice likes to take very random photos of things that she thinks are beautiful that might be a little bit mysterious or unsettling to people. So there is another journaling card here with some great embossing, and then another collaged scrappy tag. And then on this side we have this really great stamp page. I got this she changed her name from Jen Estes. I will link her shop below as well so you can see where I got this paper from. This like purpley gray dyed paper I got from her shop. And another little stamped watercolor piece. This is like super sparkly black, and I don't think I'll be able to get it like in camera, but it has little flecks of like rainbow mica in it that sort of picks up the light really like nicely. It's one of my favorite colors, but it doesn't show up on camera at all because it hates me. And then here we got our little rune ruffle, and then in here is another one of those like coin envelope style pockets, so that acts as a tuck spot here. And then here is our little journaling word snippet, and this folds out to be a little trifold tag. And on the back, this was, yeah, this is the right way. This is like an old prison, like an old abandoned prison building. And I just love like how all those shapes come together to make a really interesting visual piece here. And here's another abandoned building. You can see like the roof has like caved in, and like there's the outside. So like nature is going to start making its way in here eventually, probably pretty quickly. And then over here are another watercolor swatch tag and this little Polaroid style collage tag with this little apothecary drawer, because I had a little like strip of snippets left from the insert that I made for the collector book. So I thought like I'd have a little callback to that. So here's one of the little drawers from that page of like apothecary drawers that I used in that book. And there's a little tab here and a little writing space on the back. And then there's some more writing space for her to add her photos. And then there is this little piece of vellum here. I was going to make this into a pocket, but I decided not to glue it down because she might want to like tuck something back here and just use these as like flats, or add something to this so that they're all usable pages. Plus there's a lot of pockets in here, and I feel like I may have missed a hidden pocket already, but oh well, because I can't go back. There's no turning back. And then there is another one of my little watercolored etchings on this really great page. I love the paper. This was a Stamperia paper set, and it has like these really great textures and like details in it that I think add to the vibe that we're going for here, which is like feminine but gothic, but also very spooky, and patina'd, because they definitely got a lot of patina in here. So we got another one of these belly banded pouch envelopes. So you can see this here. There's a little medical page back here collaged in there, some mushrooms, and some die cuts that make this up, and then this also opens up to store some stuff inside. And I think this is the yeah, this is the other side of the medical page, so it's the living heart. So this whole section was on the heart. And this one, this little belly band, I got a kick out of because I made like these little skull pieces out of stamps, and then I embossed them like a couple of times over with some clear embossing. And then the little snippet I used here said, "This human head has been separated to show you the main bones that make up a human skull," which was like from that page that like had the blown up skull. But I just thought it was funny that there was this human head hanging out on this tag. Like, it's been separated and placed on this envelope for your viewing pleasure. And then over here is the binder in for this, and this one is for lasting happiness, because that's what she's trying to get her ghosties to have, probably as well as herself, I think. Oh, little random fibers in here. And then tucked behind this leaf tag is the card for judgment, and then this just flips out. Don't need to go into all the details there. The other side of that. And then here is another one of those leafy banner tucks, and you can tuck something under here. And I swore that there was something under there, but maybe I moved it. Maybe I moved it. And then here we have one of two of these. These are like little shaker matchbooks, and they just have a lot of great texture. There's a little collage back here. There's some mushrooms hanging out in there. You can see some cool sequins and little moons and stars. And then I even love like the little halo that the moon sticker back here gives her. And this one says glamour, and it's a little scrappy notepad. So there is journaling space here. And then these little snips and bits of like paper for her to use. This one says specimen with the date and the name on it. There's a little stamp piece here with some like handmade paper in here. And a little index card. So she can tear these out of the little matchbook as she goes through and use them as she's like journaling in the book. Or she can keep them on here and just use it as a notepad. But either way, it's in the book. It goes right there. And I love it. Happy with how that came out. And we have a long ruffle here with a little leaf shape at the bottom here. And it's got like this, I don't know, this type of fabric on top of another type of fabric. And I feel like these are little scraps that she takes from like the clothes of the people she's like digging through to find her little goodies. And this one says just one life, which I think is particularly poignant given where our apprentice spends the majority of her time. And in here is another little tag. And this opens up to another one of these crescent moon tuck spot banner tucks. And then there's this like little abandoned bedroom situation on this little journaling card. Oh my gosh. Okay, and then in this insert, sorry, I had to get a drink of water, I was dying. We have these leaves on top of this tombstone, which I do not believe is a tuck spot. It is not a tuck spot. That's good to know. And then there is a spot for you to tuck stuff here. And then the binder in for this one is Ancestor Call, which won't focus. There it goes. And then back here is the tuck spot behind this lady. And like I said, there's lots of really great texture and elements on here. This is some more rice paper with this like clock dial. This is another callback to the collector because this was the piece I had left over from that. Because she's the apprentice, she has to have some callbacks. And then there's this little boy. And you can journal on the back of these. They're all just regular paper. And then this little torn coffee dyed paper. Another etching here with this green one. Some more great inking effects. The rune ruffle for this one. And then there is one side of this vellum, which took a lot of the coffee that I poured in here, and just apparently made it its own because it didn't show up on either side of here. So the vellum got all the coffee I dripped in here. But I love how quickly it came out. And then there is another little stamped and painted bit here. And then the last of these types of pouches here. This one says Dearly Departed, and this one I did tuck something into. So this one has a little scrappy book in here as well. So lots of little journaling spaces for her, and a lot of materials for her to use if she chooses to tear them out to use in the book. And that just tucks into this for skill and amusement only tab. And it's on this really cool paper from the Mixed Media pad from Tim Holtz. I don't remember what it's called. I think it's called Mixed Media something. And then that just tucks in here behind this eye. And then, of course, you can add something else back here as a tuck spot. And then there is another little dangle charm here. Another smoky quartz on this one. There's also a lot of moonstone in this. And then here, we have this, like, abandoned stairwell. I love how green and, like, mossy this is. And then you notice here, there is a skull here. It flips out here, so you can journal back here. A little secret journaling space. And then, oh, it's so big. Stuff's gonna fall. And then you slide it this way. There is a big skull. The full image of the skull is here. And then here we have another little leaf card, another watercolor swatch. And then here is the other side of that glove bag, the other hand, with another little abandoned picture back here. And I don't think I stuck anything behind this one, but you can stick something behind it, as well as inside the bag. And it's got another great collage on the front. And then on this one, on this ruffle, gosh, I used some of this, like, vintage doily, and I just cut some chunks out of that. And then here is another one of those, like, glaze test patina little metal pieces attached to this long dangly charm. And then here is the little bag envelope pocket here. So these are tuck spots. So tombstones are tuck spots. This is a tuck spot behind this little tombstone. And then this is a large pocket. And then on this side, there is something in the pocket. It is another one of those death poems journaling cards. And then back here is a big, like, mausoleum type thing, which I wish wasn't so shiny so you could see it. But it's also a large tuck spot. So she can tuck something back there. And then here is the last of the, like, cicada feathery style ruffles. And then we have our little hidden pocket belly bands with a journaling card. I really like how this came out, like, over the top of this. I added the little cicada wings back here with this eye peeking through. I did not feel bad about covering this girl up, but I feel like it might be our girl, the apprentice, or it might be the collector, like, watching her as she goes about her business collecting all these things. And then here we have another one of these tags. This is, like, the start of another abandoned stairwell that I inked over. And there's some journaling space back there with the cicada itself stamped in here. And there's a large etched out fern leaf here. And then a little flip fold out here. I really love the coffee dripping here. There's so many of these, like, really great lines across here, so I really love how that came out. And here's the other side of that abandoned sand room that I was talking about earlier. Like, this room is just full of it. There's also a little bit of information on it. And then another one of those dingly style tags here. And then here we have the other shaker matchbook. So pretty. And the last, yes, this is the last signature. So the last watercolor swatch tag. And this little stamped up snippet here. And then the last sliding tuck spot, which has this little collaged tag on it. And this one has a citrine bead on it. And over here is another, like, cemetery photograph. This one's, like, through the stained glass window. Stained glass window. You can see, like, the moss covered gravestones and stuff back there. Just really neat. Really cool. Sudden heart stamp. I had a little ghost impression left over, so I used it there. And then, just like all the other ones, the back has a pocket back here, but I didn't add anything to it. So there's space to add something there. Some more journaling space here. This nice large layout piece here. And then, oh, here it is. We missed a bottom tuck somewhere, guys. But there is a little hidden top tuck here. A little hidden pocket in here that this slides into. And then another little die cut pieced ruffle. Some more punching of my camera. This is a little etching, and then on the bottom of this one is the last bind rune. This one says lasting peace. And here we have a little tarot card. This is the Hanged Man. It goes this way. No, it doesn't. It goes this way. The Hanged Man tarot card that tucks in here with the rune for this signature, and it's a little dangle charm. And on the other side of this is a little journaling card that is not actual hemlock, but this really cool photograph that I thought went really well with the little tag hemlock. And that goes on this little leafy paper clip here. The other side of the vellum is here. And then here is this, like, collaged journaling spot. Whatchamacallit? It's a tarot card, but it's like that extra dupe card that they add into, like, tarot decks. So I had this one and I turned it into a little journaling spot. And this one has one of those drawers and it says fire elements on it. And then we reach the back of the book, and here is this like little hidden tuck spot that I apparently sewed into the signature. So don't do that. But it's a little specimen slide of some things left behind by a soldier. And it just tucks in here. This is like a little secret spot because the whole thing can be a tuck spot here. And then here's the back. This is my carved heart stamp. And then I actually signed my book for once. So there's my signature there at the bottom. And let me see if I can find that bottom pocket. Hold on, guys. Okay, I found it. It wasn't actually that far back. It's in the same signature. Although I feel like there's one more that I'm forgetting about. So bonus surprise mystery pocket, maybe? But in here is another tag. And this one has a little pocket, like a little library card style pocket on here with some more of those little taxidermy frogs. And it just slides inside here. Real subtle and quiet like to the point where I forget that it's in there. So maybe I'll leave it out a little bit like this so she can find it. Because, oh my gosh. Yeah, I do feel like there's another one in here somewhere, but I thumbed through this a little bit and I couldn't find it. So, yeah, it may or may not be here. It'll be a surprise when she gets it, that's for sure. But that's my book, guys. We made it to the end. If you made it all the way to the end here, I appreciate your faces. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of the Collector's Apprentice. And that'll be it for me for now, guys. Until then, happy crafting. See you next time. Bye. Okay, just kidding. On the quest for the lost bottom pocket, I actually found this top pocket that I forgot about. So here's a long skinny tag with an even longer, skinnier tag that actually folds out for longer, skinnier writing. And that just tucks in here into her little arm, so she's holding on to that. And then on the back is some journaling space, and that was behind this piece here. So yeah, the search continues for the bottom one, but I found this other one. So yee! Oh my gosh. So okay, again, just kidding, not actually done. There was another top pocket right here. And it's this little top loading pocket style with another pocket spot back here, little card on the fold out skull page. Which, like, silly me, I put all the sorry silk on the top in a different color so that I would notice it as I flip through, and I still ignored it as I flipped through. So, no, another secret pocket.